Welcome to the AMA. And one element of the AMA today is to go into something I presented this morning in the team call, the product categories. And with this, we want to have a stable categorization of all the different product things we do, so that the product manager knows how to find the UX person that specializes in this, know how to find the front-end team member, know how to find the back-end team member. That product marketing knows what the different elements are. I find that is one of the, as we scale, like it's really important we have these stable interfaces. And part of that is that we also want to make sure that the teams, as we have them in GitLab, the engineering team names, we'll start changing them to reflect these stages, so that we, both inside and outside the company, everyone understands what their responsibility is and who to go for what. And one of the first changes that is proposed is to name the build team, to rename them to the install team, because build is something that is commonly reserved for. We also have a build product, we have a CI product, we have a verify product, and that's pretty confusing. And installation makes it clear what the goal is, although it's installation and upgrades, of course. But hey, we also want short names. Jason, you say the rename is contentious because it's the end product of what we do. You are what you ship. Like other people see the end product, they don't see all the effort that gets into it. And you can call it a bakery, or you can call it a croissant shop. This analogy is not going anywhere, but the end product is what other people care about. And it's how they perceive the world. And the hardest thing for people is to find people. And I think also, it's, as a kind of a side note, it's good for the current build team to care a bit more about the rest of the installation. I have more updates on the install page than I think the most prolific build team member. Maybe even all build team members aggregated together. This is dangerous because we can easily check this, and I haven't checked it. But it's important to care about the end product, and that's what the rest of the world see. Our value is results. Our value is not all the work you do. Our value is the output of it. But Jason, feel free to speak up, and also other members of the build team. It's kind of a special AMA that you're all here to interrogate me about this, which I would love to. Jason, if you were speaking, you're still muted. I'm moving on, but
apologies. I was trying to actually figure out exactly how to phrase what you're saying, and what I'm trying to express. You're not wrong in any way, but the consensus is that we don't see that we do just install, right? So if the team was renamed to install, then would we be install engineers? We do everything from creating all the packaging to verifying all the components, especially when it comes to the various deployment methodologies that we produce, because we do Omnibus and we do Cloud Native Helm charts, and we do a few other miscellaneous ones. But if we're just installation, we're not necessarily providing, that's all that the end customer will end up using, is the methodologies that we provide, but we've verified all of those steps the entire way through.
So I think there's two things here. Obviously, to make a great installation product, you have to do all of these other steps. So I think that's obvious. I think the one thing I could see as a risk is that you're relegated to that people think you're not building the installation product, but that you're actually doing the installation yourself. Like, you come in, give me the server, let me pop in the CD and I'll put it in a box for you. So one, you could, if that's a worry, maybe it's better to call it install product, but I kind of prefer short names because then it's like, is this product or is this, it starts to be confusing. But maybe help me understand better. Do people think to make a good installation product, you don't have to like verify all the stuff you install?
Right. Just let's say we're going to go just with the layout that are actually designed into stages as defined as the DevOps lifecycle. If we as a team were to really pick one, we would probably lean towards package versus installation, because we're producing the package that people will then actually use to install and configure their systems. But you're also right in saying that if you were install, then are we the ones doing the install? Because we're not SREs. We're, doing the build, creating the packages, creating the containers that people will then use.
Yep, I get that. Like package would have been a great name for your team, except it's also part of the DevOps lifecycle, and people tend to think of the container registry in the future binary package repositories we ship. So unfortunately, that one's taken.
Also the previous name, which didn't work. So packaging team was the previous name of build team, and it didn't work because we couldn't hire a single person, as they were confused. What does packaging actually mean?
Which is funny because when I joined, I thought it should have been named the packaging team.
We might actually, the install team, we might have the same name. If we call it install, we might have the same name that people don't understand what they do. So it's that's a risk factor there. What we do then, right? If it doesn't work, we'll change it back. But Lou asks, won't install get confused with support team, which practically helps with user installs configurations? Yes, there's a risk of that. Like, is it between install product and install services, basically? Diana asked about the package team, but I think that was before Manon explained that. Alejandro says the bakery is not the best example. You're correct about that. Ian says installation automation. I'm open to that. Like most of the other teams are one word. All of the other teams are one word. So think of it as installation automation. I'm not sure we should call it that, but I like that more than install product, which is still vague. Kind of would have been nice to have like one word that kind of reflects installation and then updating, because I think the keeping installations up to date will be a big thing, and where I think we're not spending enough time, for example, on detecting like, hey, if an installation is updated and it fails to restart or it has problems after, like we shut down the packaging service, we probably have a bug. We're starting with that now, like measuring the effect of our things, but I think that should be kind of a core. The team should feel that that's a core part of their mission, and install kind of distracts from that because it tells about this one-time thing. So open to suggestions, but I love installation automation. Jason said distribution. I like it. It's one word. And like with Omnibus, the big thing has been that we use the operating system packages, or not the operating system package, but that we have a packaging system that works together with the distribution. It has like a logistics analogy. And it's one word, really important. It doesn't overlap with anything else. Like, of course, we have the distribution, but we call that the go-to-market motion, but that's hip terms like demand generation and stuff like that. So nobody uses distribution there. So I like it. It's Northrup's suggestion. Thanks, John. Distribution team.
And we can hear scribbling, so that's good feedback.
Yeah, like I see the problems with install. Distribution kind of makes it sound cooler, so maybe it's easier with hiring as well. It has the update in it, the update element in it. I think it meets all the criteria I articulated. So I think it's if we don't have any further insights, that's a winner.
So when I originally suggested this in our discussion, you said this will confuse people with the release.
Oh.
I mean, I'm up for the name. I'm just stating the fact.
With the release, why is it confusing with the release? Yeah, I know.
Because we are not.
I believe that I said it, by the way, but
we are not doing the release ourselves, right? Like we are not responsible for everything that release means.
Well, you're starting to become more and more responsible.
Yeah, that's my fat mouth. but yeah.
Oh, Mark Poensek opened one. Gonna click the button if there's no objections in the next 3 questions. That can also be about other things, because this is an Ask Me Anything, preferably controversial subjects like hiring and firing and compensation. And we don't know what we're doing in Department X.
So the only question I would have is whether it's possible to have the team name be separate from like the titles. I just did a quick search on like salary.com and stuff for like distribution engineer and essentially got 0 results. So I wonder if it's possible to try and have a title and the team name be somewhat separate.
I think we learned that is a good thing. Just having a confusing title just doesn't work. So although it pains me, I'm okay with that.
Awesome.